What is going on, guys? The Lunge Mine is Battlefield 5's newest anti-tank weapon. You can unlock this by ranking up your chapter reward to level 5. Once unlocked, you can fight it in your gadget slot for either the support or the assault class. Using the Lunge Mine is very simple. You can either stand still and hit the trigger button, and the Lunge Mine will extend forward while you are not moving. This works well if you're trying to remain stealthy and sneak up against enemy vehicles, or if maybe you're crawling onto the ground and you're not able to sprint. To use a Lunge Mine in a sprinting position, all you have to do is be sprinting and then hit your trigger button, and you will go into full sprint mode with the Lunge Mine in hand. If you don't end up using the mine, you will eventually stop sprinting and will have a sprinting cooldown for a limited amount of time. You only have one Lunge Mine equipped, so you'll have to find a weakened tank if you want to finish them off with one lunging blow. If you connect, you'll find yourself thrown onto the ground with 20 of your health depleted momentarily until you regain your health passively back up to 100. Tanks are not the only things you can use the Lunge Mine on. You can use them on infantry players. This is a one-hit kill that will trigger the same animation of you being thrown onto your back with a loss of 20 of your health again until you passively regain it. You can one-hit kill jeeps as well, along with stationary weapons, so there's a lot of utility uses for the Lunge Mine than just killing tanks. You will need 2 Lunge Mines to take out a tank, so instead of going to a resupply station every time to refill your mines, I suggest playing as a support class. This way you can equip your resupply crate. What then you can do is use your first Lunge Mine attack onto a tank, and once you're thrown onto the ground, you can drop your ammo crate, quickly resupply yourself, and lunge at the tank once more, hopefully finishing them off. You want to try to hit the tank on its side or at the very back. These are traditionally the weaker points of the tank. However, there is a bug going around where players are getting only 5 damage at times using the Lunge Mine, so maybe when I charged head on towards this tank and only got 5 damage, it's because of the bug in the game and not because the armor is stronger in the front. Either way, it's probably best to avoid charging at a tank full on towards the front part, as there's a less chance of you at least not getting run over. Things can get tricky if the enemy tank uses their emergency repairs, so the most successful way to take out a tank where you don't have to use several Lunge Mines is, again, if you find a tank that's already weakened. But another great way is if your squad is equipped with Lunge Mines as well. Nothing I imagine will be more terrifying for tanks moving forward than to see a full squad of players equipped with Lunge Mines sprinting towards them. If you try this with your squad, try to keep yourself spread out and not bunched up next to each other. This way, when the tank fires, at best, it will only take out one of you. If you guys are all close together lunging at the tank at the exact same time, the tank is more likely to finish you guys all off with one single shot. The Lunge Mine can also be used against landing vehicle transportations. You will, however, need to use several hits of it to take them out, but luckily they have less firepower and mobility than a tank, so hopefully it'll be much easier to do. Try timing your lunge right when players are hopping out, and you may be able to blow up a player or two while putting damage onto the vehicle as well. Unfortunately, you can't use the Lunge Mine while underwater, but you can use it while in the passenger of a jeep or a dinghy. I didn't have any luck putting any damage on enemy tanks doing this, but it is possible, and it might be the most epic way to finish off a tank in Battlefield 5. Using the Lunge Mine against tanks and enemy players aren't the only purpose to pull out this gadget. It makes a great destructive tool to blow up buildings and fortifications, giving you a new route to breach into the buildings while possibly putting damage on enemy players who may be posted up inside. Also, the Lunge Mine does make a great gadget to use if you need to get out of the open in a hurry. Just pull the gadget out and use this full sprint mode to get yourself out of trouble faster than you would be by sprinting normally. But yeah, that's a quick look at the Lunge Mine. Definitely a very fun gadget to be using on the battlefield. Pretty easy to unlock. It is, again, only the 5th level that you'll need to get to in order to unlock this in your chapter reward. So after a few games, I'm sure you'll be able to start using this. It's probably going to be a new favorite for most assault and support players to have equipped, so definitely keep an eye out for enemy players who are sprinting around, because you may just find yourself at the end of their lunge. But hopefully that helps you guys out. I am Livin', and I'll catch you guys again later.